Predators.
All right. So we're going to talk about coercion and coercive, intimidating predators.
Whoa! Holy smokes!
So for this one, I have a particular example. It's weird because most of these people are not very frightening. There's no real fear there. It's just that they're
Eminent danger.
Yeah, they're trying to convince you to do something that is not in your best interest, and it makes it very difficult to tell that they are against you because they kind of convince you otherwise. So here's a personal example.
Ooh.
I bought a house. The house had some problems.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. The house had some problems. It was under warranty. The warranty people that they send out, they want to resolve the problem as quickly and as cheaply as possible. So naturally, when they inspect something, they go, oh, that's nothing. That's fine. So you have to tell them the rules and say, this is under warranty. And then when they look at it, they try to dismiss what you say. So they try to make sure that you feel like you're discredited.
Can you give us an example for those of us who rent?
For my particular house, there was water running inside one of the beams, like right above one of the doors. And when I went to like replace part of the wood, it was like a sponge. You could push your finger through it because it had rotted. So it was a structural issue. So I was like, this door frame is structural and it needs to be replaced or else like the wall could cave in. Like this is my argument back to him when he said, oh, this is just nothing. This is part of the facade. This is simple stuff to fix. Like I had to like pull a board off and be like, I can move this. Like, I have to prove to you. It shouldn't be that I have to prove to this guy. So he already kind of pissed me off to begin with. And then, he'll leave. He'll call you back and be like, yeah, we agree that like, this is under warranty. So when he comes back and has a piece of paper that says, this is all I have to do, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't really explain it very much. And he just says, like, sign here. And I was like, well, let me read this first. So when I read it, it said like the work had been completed and I was happy. It was satisfactory work. Oh. And he kept getting in my face about it. And he kept saying like, all you have to do is sign. It's faster if you sign. Like he tries to say all these things that are like, it's going to help you. It's going to be a better, like it's faster resolution. You know, in the end, it's better. Like all these things that don't really make sense, but you want to believe. So you kind of buy into the lies. What ended up happening was I signed part of it and I said, well, I'm not going to complete like the second half and I'm not going to date it or initial anything because like you haven't done any of this work. He ended up taking it and then I think I went back inside and he was like in his truck talking to somebody to like figure out if like that was a viable document. And I guess he figured out that it wasn't legally binding because I didn't sign all of it. He came back and he said, no, I need you to sign all of it. And I was like, no. And at that point, I pissed him off. So every time since then, he would come back, be agitated, and then have cheap labor come in and try to fix it. They fixed it wrong. He came back after I had a camera on them as they were repairing it. So I replayed the footage and showed him that they didn't install it correctly. And then the result was like even worse than original. So I had to have him come back. And it's frustrating to deal with these people because they will drag everything out. They'll make it so slow. It's almost like they wanted to make it like a legal thing. So he's trying to coerce you in all variety of methods to get you to just give up. But in the end, I had to go on Twitter and blast these people saying like, I have these pictures. This is how you build your homes. This is the person that is trying to fix it and they fixed it wrong. It was just ridiculous. And I should never have to go through that.
I agree with you.
So what did you pull out of that? Did you ever have situations where people are like trying to convince you of something and you're just like, this doesn't feel right?
So I have a shady company I worked for. I won't name names. And to do work in their kitchens, we had to have contracts signed.
Yeah.
They have to initial here. They have to sign here. They have to date it. They have to do all this stuff. My worst customers are the ones who wouldn't sign, and they're like, I want to make sure the work is done before I do this.
That's me.
I want to make sure this is done before I do this. I want to do this before this is done this. And I always looked at it two ways. One, we screwed up a lot of jobs, but we always did fix them, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Service team, we're always resurfacing stuff. We're servicing to hell. We're a service team experts.
Double fist.
So 90% of the time, we would get out there and fix whatever the hell was wrong anyway. There's always 10% of people who kind of got a shit job, and we kind of were like, we tried like 3 times. I don't know, good luck. So, I kind of see. I also had customers who wouldn't sign. I had special dispensation from the management team that they didn't have to sign until the work was done.
Mm-hmm.
And they were always like, these customers are real pain in the ass, but they're very thorough. They want to make sure the work's done. And in 2 ways, that's the way it should be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it makes it harder for me as a sales rep. Yeah, it's inconvenient for me. I'd be like, oh my God, I got to send this guy the paperwork.
You're the coercing party.
Jesus Christ, I'm a coercer, but I was terrible at it. I would just be like, so when you got a contract signed, it had to be initialed in X, Y, and Z. It had to be written on the back. I have to have stuff here, upload documents here. I do all this stuff. Contractors, who are people who would use us regularly to do their kitchens, would never sign a contract. Or when I send it to them, email it back. Not once. They just don't.
Yeah.
Let alone sign an extra piece of paper that says, here's a waiver for what quartz does in your kitchen. Or here, we're going to do your plumbing reconnect. Can you sign here to say it's okay for us to do your plumbing work? Not once. To the point where I stopped sending them the documents and would just hand in my folders not signed. And then I started with just like my regular customers. I'd be like, you guys want it? Here's the deal. I'll take your money. Half your money. Boom. They'd be like, do we have to sign everywhere? I'm like, who cares? Just do whatever you want. Like, in a way to give them an out, but it also in a way like all the people who have to check the folders would start bringing me back my folders.
Yeah.
So, and I have to re-email people, call them up, get these signatures. I figured out a loophole in the system.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Wait till their install date is over and then submit it without the signatures.
They'll sign it. Oh.
And no.
Get paid.
Just back to my team. Because what are they going to do? It's already been installed. I'm like, oh, yeah, the Robinsons, they didn't sign this. And they're like, well, you have to get it signed. I'd be like, it was installed 2 days ago. And they're like, okay, fine. And they'll just file it. So by the time I left the company, I was the only one in the company who did this. And I feel a little bad for any of the admins who had to check these. I had like 50 folders with names and people that they sent to me to get stuff signed and whatever. And I'd be like, check this, please. And it was, I guess it's their legal defense, but I'd be like, yeah, let the people sleep. They got their countertops. They paid us. It's fine. So
your story kind of...
So I was a coercer, but I'm bad. I was a bad coercer. Sorry.
Your story reminded me of DirecTV. They want to install a satellite dish on my roof, and they used like a third party to do that. And they set up a time, which was like a 3-hour window, and they missed it. And I was the asshole that was like, you missed your window. You're not installing it. 3? I'll see you later.
Good Lord. This is the guy we hate, by the way.
They stayed in my driveway for like hours waiting.
Doing what?
They
were getting paid. They could have been getting paid.
They might have been getting paid. I felt like they were waiting for me to come outside and tell them to leave so that they can like give me the stink eye or something. I didn't need to go anywhere. I just felt it was encroaching because they were on my property.
Here's something that you're overthinking.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you because 100%. I was in...
That's me.
No. And the reason I tell you this is because most installers are entirely separate than guys who get the stuff ready to be installed.
They don't get paid hourly usually. Yeah.
Right. And then they're different than the guys who set up the stuff to be sent out to be installed. And they're totally different than the people who sell the stuff. And they're totally different from management. So install guys are like their own breed of people.
Yeah.
They don't give a damn if they can get paid. They're not there like, we're going to coerce this guy, like rubbing their knuckles in the car.
They're like tow truck drivers.
Like a little bit, yeah. They just want to get paid, man.
Like spiffs. That's another coercion tactic.
What's a spiff? I don't know that word.
So if you get a wreck, they're going to want to tow your car to a yard.
To their yard.
Yeah. Whatever one they get the most. From. Exactly. So they're going to convince you that you don't want to leave it in your neighborhood because it's unsightly and your neighborhood might give you like a fine because of it. Yeah. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you take possession of your car, the shop they're going to take it to, they're probably a shitty shop. That's why they need to pay spiffs. They're not going to correct whatever problem you really have. And if it's totaled, they're going to charge you thousands of dollars just because it's sitting on their lot. It's ridiculous. So, spiffs.
Spiffs, folks.
So, I guess my summary of this is kind of...
Are there any other big coercers? Tow trucks, people who sell countertops.
There could be people in your everyday life that you encounter that you don't realize.
Car salesmen in general, right?
Yeah, they could... But that one's easier because you don't have to deal with a car salesman. Usually a coercer is someone that you have to deal with, and you don't usually. So, like, they come in your life and you need something from them, like a tow truck driver or someone that's repairing something. But they...
Like medical treatment and stuff like that? Are the people that try and screw you out of certain medical treatments or want you to sign off on things or say you weren't hurt in this incident, like lawyers and stuff? They can do it, right?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. If you have a legitimate claim, like an insurance company will try to get you to sign to release them from paying. Or like your air conditioning, if that goes out, the people who fix your air conditioning will charge you a shit ton of money unless you like really dig deep and like find out who's not going to screw you over.
Interesting.
So
look out for the coercers. Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah. Hold your ground. The best thing to do is if you're not sure, take your time.
Don't
say, I'll sign it tomorrow. And then do your research and then figure out, do I really want to sign this? Like if you read over the document when no one's standing over your shoulder, you're going to have a whole bunch more clarity figuring things out. And you're going to do what you want to do, not what they want to do. The happy ending to my story is that they didn't fix the problem 100% and then they left some pieces out. So I put that on Twitter, came back, and I said, you have to pay me for the stuff I buy at Home Depot to fix the remainder part of it. And I went to Home Depot and just bought like $500 worth of shit. And they paid me, they gave me a check like a month later, $500, just like random crap. Paint for like different areas of my house. It's fantastic. So
lesson learned.
I'm going to win. And I hope you win against these coercing predators.
Against all odds, folks. We're rooting for you. We're rooting for you a lot.
A lot. Predators.